It is March 22nd, 2022. This is Atlanta United FC Weekly, a Home Before Dark podcast.
Oh,
two pretty good pops there, right?
Extra snap there, Tim.
Yeah, a little extra snap. It's a natural casing. It's got a snap to it. So, thank
wonderful.
you for tuning in on this lovely Tuesday evening. It is not Fat Tuesday, but Kevin's down in New Orleans. So tonight you will be joined by Dan James to my right. It's so hard to do the non-mirrored webcam pointing. It's just not natural. Anyways, I am Tim Herb. As I mentioned, the aforementioned Dan James is with me tonight. A little on the road dedication. So Kevin can't. The Brits, you would say Kevin can't be arsed to be on the show tonight, right? And he's down traveling for work. You're traveling for work. Still, you brought your Blue Yeti with you, or you have a snowball. You have a snowball or a Yeti?
I have a snowball.
Gotcha. So you got your snowball with you. You're down in your hotel room. You're just a dedicated Dan. That's right. The name. And we're starting, like, Kevin always likes to point, he's not here, so I'm going to talk about him. He likes to point the blame at you for whenever we start late. But, I mean, this is the closest we've started to on time in a long time. Can you guys spot the difference, as it were? Anyway, if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, on Stitcher, what have you, leave us a rating and or a review. We'll read that live on the show whenever you post it. Whatever it says, we don't care. If you guys are watching us on YouTube, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, the notification bell icon to know whenever we go live. We have surpassed 500 subscribers. I feel like we finally just broke that dam, and hopefully it'll
501 subscribers that we have.
As of like a few minutes ago, yes.
Nice.
We're at 501. Yes.
Sweet.
Which is, I always find it interesting. I love the fact that everybody hops into the trap and just everybody's happy. I don't know, maybe not always happy, but at least Chatterbox is in there and everybody's, we have our regulars who are in here tonight. Richard Gordon in there early with me, Elliot Beaven, Michelle, Stephen Perales, Will Bowron, New York Times bestseller list, Will Bowron.
Whoa.
No, soon to be. Brandon Scott, Gabe Lajas, Brittany S., and then also Alston Lanier, the aforementioned 501st subscriber, which is interesting, Alston. I'm a little disappointed, I'm going to have to say. Feel like you've been holding out. I guess we've earned it after 6 years. 6 years? Yeah. Or 5 years.
Yeah.
We're in season 6, and we're just now getting your subscription. It's a little disappointing. It's a little bittersweet, but it is what it is. How are you tonight, Dan?
I'm good. I guess this is just a difference. Like when I go on a work trip, I have some work I need to finish up in the evening, but I've found time to make the podcast. When Kevin goes on a work trip, even though it's only like 4 minutes past 8, he's face down in the gutter. He's like, gets in there, and then that's it.
I mean, he's sending me pictures of the stuff he's eating down there, and I would, aside from the ham sandwich, he sent that to me to mess with me. I think anybody who knows me well enough knows that I hate ham, but
do you really?
Yeah, you don't know me well enough, Dan. I guess we haven't really eaten a lot together.
Ham is like my favorite thing to eat.
It is my least favorite food probably on earth. So I say that, but I really do like the Spanish ham, which is like not really
Iberico.
Yeah, Iberico. I'm trying to. It definitely escapes me right now. We ate a lot of it whenever we were in Tenerife and in Madrid. The baguettes it would come with, why Serrano ham? That's what I'm thinking of. Because it's not really it's not like ham you get here, right? Like it's like shaved and dry and aged, and it's not big thick slices.
Yeah, it's not like some mass-produced bullshit. Especially if you're getting it in Tenerife, it's crafted. It's an artisan product at that point. Yeah. How can you not like that stuff?
Yeah, I don't know. That and a little bit of manchego.
Give me charcuterie or give me death.
Yeah. Well, I do have quite a few charcuterie boards for sale if anybody's interested. Anyway,
I know I've been meaning to purchase one.
I don't. It does not come with the meat, the cheese, or the accoutrement. Yeah, Arby's. Arby's is life. Burger King. I don't remember the last time you had Burger King. I don't know why we're all of a sudden it's not 9 o'clock yet. It's not 9 o'clock yet.
That's right.
Yeah. How you feeling
the
today?
biggest. Well, Tim, I don't know if you've seen, but I'm wearing the colors of my new team, the Indianapolis Colts.
Yes.
Because
yes,
the Falcons are not going to be winning a Super Bowl anytime soon.
Talk about getting fleeced.
It'll be interesting to see what they do with all the cap space in 2023, but I just don't have any trust in their front office.
No,
so,
the
coaching staff, to be honest with you.
Did I read they picked up Marcus Mariota?
Yep. 2 years, something like that.
I
don't know. I don't know how to feel about it because I'm a big Matt Ryan fan. Yeah. I just don't know. I'm numb. Exactly, Pirlo. Exactly. My thoughts, precisely.
While I have a sleeping baby. Damn it. Hold on. Sorry, Dan.
Yeah, you're right, Michelle. Wrong football.
Yeah.
But I can't help it. It's been a big storyline in Atlanta sports.
Yeah.
So,
of course, we have a sleeping baby and I have Amazon delivering something at 8 o'clock at night, 8:07 at night.
I like it when they ring the doorbell at that time of night.
Yeah, no, we turned our doorbell off a long time ago. We just have it go to the app. So that's yeah. All right, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, it's hard to avoid the Matt Ryan discussion, especially whenever Atlanta got fleeced so bad. But at least we have a pretty positive Atlanta United team to talk about. I think for the most part, I think I lobbed that question out on Twitter earlier before we went live, and we've gotten quite a few responses already about it, just asking how people are feeling after a 4-game sample size going into the international break. We got a little time to stew and kind of digest what we've seen, and what we're hoping to see, or what we think we're going to see coming back into the MLS swing on the first. Is there a game on the first or the second?
I'm not exactly sure.
It's the second. It's in DC on the second. Yeah.
Yes,
so
that is right too. I can confirm that.
Yep. Anyway, how are you feeling, Dan? I mean, we've got 7 points from 4 games, and where are we? I haven't even looked at the MLS tables right now.
We are. I think we're mid-table. Yeah, we're 6.
Yeah, we're
6
right
in
now,
the East.
I mean, we're tied for 4th. I mean, I guess whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing. I think we're doing okay. I mean, it's 4 weeks in. We've got Luis Araujo injured, but I kind of feel like, as Will Bauer, get off my phone. How do you think I get my stats, Will? How do you think I get my stats? And I am very unprofessional. I think because we all went into this Montreal game thinking we're going to blow the doors off them, and of course, I feel like every time this happens, it ends up going quite the opposite of how we wanted it to go. And when I was watching the game, just the emotional swings were terrible, because you're just oh, this is going from bad to worse. Dwyer gets sent off. We go down 3-1. And then we come back with some absolutely fantastic play. But it's just well, where's the chemistry coming from? And I feel like it's just time. Me and Kev talked about it last week of how I feel like it's a legitimate excuse that we just need more time to gel the guys together, hopefully get some guys healthy. But this is kind of the way it's going to be. I feel like all year. I feel like it's rare that we have everybody healthy at the same time since 2019. But I think we could. I mean, I still think we could make the playoffs just as much as anybody else. I mean, it's 4 games in. What have we got? 30 more left.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think the more I think about it, the better I'm feeling. It's hard not to feel a little deflated. Even, the comeback was incredible, right? Especially given the circumstances. Dom Dwyer goes off. We go 3-1 down at halftime. Maurice Adu, or maybe it was Kevin Egan was talking, probably Kevin Egan, just due to history, was talking about, the last time Atlanta United, we saw them come back from 3-1 down as San Jose. I was like, oh shit, maybe that will happen.
That was, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But we won that game.
Yeah. So I actually had good luck this weekend, by the way, watching the game using NordVPN and ESPN Plus. I don't know if maybe I was the reason that, we were the reason that Surfshark's VPN stuff all got blacklisted by ESPN, but so far so good with Nord. Anyway, because I'm not paying. I went through the process. I was looking at Xfinity, so I don't know. We pay like $50 for our internet right now. I was like, okay, we'll add cable. We'll just whatever. It's an extra $20-$25 a month whenever you click on it. And then it ends up being like an extra $75 a month or something like that because of like broadcast fees and rights fees and that sort of thing. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So anyway, that works well with the ESPN Plus and really was very happy with it. Anyway.
Well, now you've announced it to the world, Tim. NordVPN.
The world that listens. Speaking of which, if you guys are watching us right now on YouTube, please smash the like button, as the kids say nowadays. I don't know if they still say that whenever they're dabbing on them, but it's or when they're flossing, they smash the like button. But if you would be so kind as to do that, but I feel better about this season than I think I would have last year, given the results that we've seen so far. Just due to the fact that it is early, we are still just waiting for people to come back. It's not like some of the guys didn't even have a full preseason, right? I mean, we're without Luis Araujo after the first game. To your point, it's hard to lose a guy who's maybe your most creative and most threatening player on offense. And then to have so many new players in the mix. Gonzalo Pineda had half a season last year. He's coming in. He's got a lot of new guys to kind of intermingle and get on the same page and also work out new tactics, right? I mean, last year we saw them playing in a system that he wasn't necessarily 100% comfortable with whenever we're playing 3 in the back. So we're having to convert into that. All things considered, I mean, the fact that we have a net 0 goal differential right now, pretty good considering, and the fact that we're sitting in a playoff spot is pretty good. So I feel good about it. I mean, I think Michelle pointed out Araujo will be back whenever we come back from the international break, most likely, as long as we don't try and rush him back and he comes in as a spot sub or something like that. I'll be happy. But yeah, I mean, getting to watch Thiago Almada go to work this weekend. And then,
it's hopefully those Velasquez comparisons can be put to bed now, because Almada scored a worldie in his.
It was a worldie, yeah.
Has he played 30 minutes for the club?
So. No, I mean, the way that he settled that, and then also just took Kamar Miller out of his shoes before turning and just coolly, calmly putting it into the upper 90 it was a fantastic goal. Part of me almost wishes that was the game tying goal because it was just that much better of a goal than what Brooks Lennon scored. Not to take anything away from what Brooks Lennon did, but that keeper, that was just very. Maybe he just didn't expect it. I saw a lot of people saying, why do you put a wall from that far out? A 3-man wall even, right? Like why do you have, I don't know. The keeper definitely didn't seem to be on his toes in that. He goose hand it. I feel like that is something that we would have. Yeah.
It was, but I mean, it was kind of on the keeper because he managed to get a hand to it, but he just couldn't push it far enough away from the post. But I don't care, man. That was still a beautiful free kick.
It was, yeah.
to be that far out and to be honest, to put it where he in the not just on frame, but in the spot where he's intending to put it, because that's where you would be intending to put it, away from the goalkeeper. Yeah, and it was just like as Elliot Bevan said, that goal reminded me of the Kratz goals, the 2 free kicks Kratz scored against Montreal at home in the same goal mouth. So,
that's interesting. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, both of them. He scored 2, the same free kick. I think it was both in the second half, right in front of the supporter section, and it made me feel better about it, mainly because Kyoto, after he scored that penalty, he went up to the supporters and just put his fingers in his ears. But what you gonna do?
Props to the Capos. I don't know who it was, but yelling at the supporter section for throwing that beer or whatever they threw down at Romel Kyoto. That was good to see that getting policed internally. Hopefully whoever threw that got banned for a long time from the stadium, because we don't need that shit in Mercedes-Benz.
No, you don't need it at all.
This isn't Cleveland. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, thing is, Montreal are a good team. They beat Santos Laguna in the Champions League. They made Cruz Azul work really hard for that win, and I think we were all banking on that Montreal was just going to rest players after that CCL run, even though they got knocked out. But I guess it was like, because they didn't have a CCL game coming up, Wilfred Nance was like, just go play, boys. So as they were fielding a close to full strength squad, I mean, they're a great team. Jordi Mihailovic, has he been called up for the USMNT yet?
I was looking at that the other day, because I think that's a big miss if he has not been. I don't think he has played a senior minute. No, he has. Never mind. I'm sorry. He's had 6 call-ups.
I mean, here is one of the best attacking midfielders, I feel, in the league. I mean, he's here having a pair of him and Ferran Torres. Is Ferran his first name? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. But he's been Torres, even last year, he was a young kid coming into the league and he tore it up. He scored some screamers last year. He was a guy to watch. And then having like a spine of Wanyama and Camacho, having those guys being a strength in defense. And then having this Kone kid, was he 19? Score a goal. Isn't that 2 weeks in a row we've had like a teenager score a goal on us? And Yassi Japalainen has been playing really well for them as well. So,
but he still hasn't scored, right? Has nobody made the joke yet how hilarious and ironic it is that he can't finish?
Who?
Lassi Lapalainen. He's from Finland.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But, yeah, he got an assist though. But
no, that's like a dad joke and a half, I guess. No, even you didn't appreciate. Whatever. Yeah.
No, I got it, but I didn't appreciate it.
Yeah. No, I thought Wilfred Nance did a good job in the first half of adjusting after Joseph Martinez scored that first. Like, we haven't even talked about that, right? The fact that Joseph put that goal away from the top of the 18 on a breakaway, just slotted it into the roof of the net, right? Fantastic finish, but then felt like Montreal really did a good job of adjusting. I mean, we gave them a gift, that corner kick counterattack that they went off of. What, I don't know what we were doing. I mean,
I don't either.
I don't know what to say about that. That was like inexcusable, I feel like. Yeah, I don't know. The second finish from Kone's goal was that was just fantastically worked. I think that was just good placement, getting the ball into the box with him running on, and just like a deliberate, just powerful finish from him too. Yeah, I think they had some good goals. What did you feel? How did you feel about the Miles Robinson penalty on Kone? Did you think it was deserved?
I mean, I thought it was pretty soft, but I mean, you could see that Miles was pulling him back. I mean, if it had been the other way around, I'd have been like, yeah, that's a penalty. So,
But it was the other way around down at the other end, right? Where I'm pretty sure the same exact thing happened with Marcelino Moreno in the first half, like pretty like shortly before that penalty that Kone got. But anyway, like you can't really do that, right? Like you can't do that in the box. It was very heady from a 19-year-old when you think about it, because he could have easily, a big boy like that, he could have easily stayed up whenever he got his hip tugged on. But he said, like, it was legitimate contact. I'm in the box. Why not go down and win this penalty? It was more power to him, I guess. For Miles, you just can't make that mistake.
No, you can't. And it's kind of funny when you watch the replay in slow motion where Miles is grabbing him and then Miles lets go, and then Kone has realized what happened, so he makes the swan dive and gets the call. But I mean, it's happening in real time. You're probably not going to pick it out. But
no. And that's one that's not a clear and obvious error for the referee either. So when it goes to VAR, it's not like the VAR can sit and say, okay, that was weak. It was a super weak penalty, but letter of the law, it goes up to VAR. Like, it's called on the field. You can't overturn it in the box. If it was the other way around, VAR probably wouldn't have awarded that if Penta wouldn't have awarded it on the field.
Yeah, I'd love to see some stats on referees showing you how many times they call on VAR, like they initiate the instruction, or how many times the ref will overturn their call based on that VAR information. But
yeah, we're getting some. Speaking of Miles Robinson, we're getting some feedback in the trap from. Let's see, Carlos Rangel saying Miles has been poor since the Canada game in January. That's not terribly wrong, I don't think. And then Will Bowron saying that Miles and Franco's communication has been pretty terrible so far this season. I felt like Miles, whenever he was with George Campbell in the back, it was pretty solid, at least in the regular season. I feel like in the preseason, they kind of had a not great game together. I'm trying to remember what match that was.
Yeah, I feel that's kind of weird because they both played extremely well together towards the end of last season. So you would think that they're building on that, and now it's not it's not as good. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe it's just both of them are having a slump of form, because Miles, you're right, Miles hasn't been great the past few games. And Franco just hasn't got his head into it. I mean, Franco's done a few good things, but overall, my memory of his play has been kind of negative.
I personally rate George Campbell right now over. It sounds crazy, whatever, hot take, whatever. I rate him over both of them right now.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the position is his for the taking. So
I don't see why not. You got to think a coach like Gonzalo Pineda. I mean, he's seen that George Campbell can be deputized at center defense mid or started at center back and perform well in both scenarios. And you got to think that he's seeing that, and he's like, well, we have a sieve at the back right now. We're just letting goals in. Like, we gotta. I mean, I don't know. And maybe it's not as bad as I'm thinking, but
with Miles is going on international break, right? So we're going to have Franco and Campbell in the back there. Man, that makes me worry about the depth, because the depth behind them is Dijon, right? Because we've lost Walks.
Well, I mean, he'll be back in time for our next match, right? I mean, the international break's only going to last until...
Yeah, but he's probably going to... I would imagine that they'll probably rest him. Maybe they won't.
Yeah, that's true. I think he's playing midweek next week, and maybe maybe USMNT will rest him. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
It depends, right? Because how far are we from... Sorry, I keep cutting you off, but how far are we from qualification right now, the U.S. team?
We're on top of the group. I think.
We're second
behind Canada.
Yeah,
but then Mexico's pretty tight with the U.S.
Yes. Right. I'm just saying, like, how many more wins, how many more points? What's our magic number? I haven't been following that closely enough to see what our magic number is for qualifying.
I feel like World Cup qualifying just takes forever.
If it's not a World Cup too long.
It's World Cup qualifying.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's been pretty great in a U.S. men's national team jersey. I love Miles Robinson. I think he has been the best center back in MLS for the past couple of years. I think he keeps getting overlooked. Obviously, we're homers. Carlos Rangel saying he thinks the number is 4 for points right now. So if we beat Panama, we should qualify in that point, right? Because it's
the only knock against Miles, and is the reason why he doesn't get the MVP, is because he doesn't score many goals,
which is fucking ridiculous. That's such a ridiculous argument.
But Opara and Zimmerman have both been scoring goals, so or did in their respective years that they won.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're both. I mean, to be quite honest, both Walker Zimmerman and Iko Parr are fantastic center backs in MLS. I mean, Iko Parr is retired, but I mean, I think the Zimmerman transfer from LAFC is proving to be one that they wish they could probably get back, right? Then again, looking at them now, I think they're back to their best. Yeah, I think that I don't know. You can't. I don't think that the center backs right now, the starting pair, should feel that safe in their job.
No, I mean on the weekend, the whole back line was terrible. Even Gutman, our hero for the past few weeks, didn't have a great game either. So it's been pretty bad. I saw Joe Patrick was saying on his podcast that because we played more of a 4-2-3-1 rather than the 4-3-3, it put Alonso in a difficult position because we didn't have that third guy in midfield to be able to kind of screen the defense. But
how do you feel about what Mateo in the Trap is saying, that Ronald Hernandez has been poop emoji, I will say, instead of saying...
I thought he was pretty... I remember he was pretty good against Charlotte, but... and didn't he have a good game? Because I remember I put a lineup out somewhere on some internet, and I think I had Lennon starting for
I think
Hernandez.
It was on the dark web. I think you were on Silk Road whenever you were doing that. Yeah. Or
and someone was saying, I'd put in Hernandez over Lennon at right back. But of course, Lennon's been taking Rouge's spot right now. And I thought Hernandez did pretty good, but I just thought the back line just wasn't great. I don't think he's been outrageously shocking.
What do you think about what Carlos Rangel in the Trap is saying? I have it up on the screen, saying Guzan, Gutman, Lennon, and Joseph are probably the only untouchable players at the moment.
Interesting. Untouchable just from a fan's perspective, or just the lineup?
Just can't be. Their jobs are safe. They're the only ones whose jobs are safe.
I would argue that Rossetto has potentially played himself into that, and I would thought Sejdic also, because they have both been playing pretty good at the beginning of the season. But then, and when Sosa came in for a little bit, he wasn't up to much. But you would think as things go along, he would eventually assume his spot back. So I would put Rossetto in, and up until this week, you'd have put Alonso in there also. So
yeah, I still thought he had a pretty decent game in spots. I could see, I don't know, it's tough, man. Because I think Sosa, I think Sosa, I would like to see. I think he's going to be untouchable as the season moves on. I think
you would imagine so.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I've just been going by the FootMob ratings for the rankings for the players. Oh my gosh, the rating, and just looking on SofaScore, and they are a lot more unforgiving. So across the back line, you had Gutman 5.8, Robinson 5.6, Franco 5.6, Hernandez 5.9. That's terrible. That's some of the lowest scores I've ever seen. And the whole team, Wolf at 5.5, And Dwyer, just for reference, Dwyer played 4 minutes, got red carded, and he got rated a 5. So
yeah,
it's pretty bad. And Lennon was our top guy with 8. All the subs were better, all of them across the board. Campbell, Mulroney, Sosa.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I want to go through a couple of these reactions, if you don't mind, from Twitter, just asking people their how they're feeling going into being 4 games in the season going into the international break. Andy Watkins, our buddy, saying it's not enough. I don't know if I think I need clarification. Is the sample size not big enough? Is that what you're saying, or what we're doing is not enough?
I would hope sample size.
Yeah, I would hope so too. Alston Lanier saying cautiously optimistic. The talent is there, but we lack cohesion. I feel good about Pineda, but also like we say the same things every year and nothing changes.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that Gonzalo Pineda has done a great job. I think it's being overlooked, the mess that he's kind of had to deal with to start the season and keep not the ship afloat, but to get results.
I like Pineda too. It is frustrating, but we've had so many different variables in this team since the beginning of the pandemic, like in 2020. Remember the MLS's Cup is back. We've had so many different things that have been going on, chop and changing managers, finally installed, like learning an incredibly intense system at the beginning of 2021 under Heinze, and then having to forget it and then flip to something else, having a whole flow of new players come in. I just think there has been an awful lot of inconsistency. And to really get a decent crop of guys together, you've got to have that consistency, both from the coaching, from the manager, from your teammates around you. And then we also haven't had we've had Champions League, which I feel like Champions League, although it's been good for us to play in, I feel like it really has been a detriment to our league performance.
Oh, for sure. It's impossible. Like, it's one thing to be, Man City, Liverpool, Juventus, Real Madrid, whatever, and have midweek fixtures when you have a whole other starting lineup that's sitting in your 23, right? But then you have you're an MLS and you're stretched pretty thin due to the salary cap. So,
exactly.
It's tough to have those midweek fixtures, especially when you're intermingling those with US Open Cup too.
And you're traveling internationally to go to these places that are real hostile places in terms of the fans, and those teams are used to that sort of travel in terms of playing, because teams like Herediano, Saprissa, they're constantly in it because they are the top team in the country. So playing against those takes an awful lot out of you. I feel like all the international breaks always mess us up, and it's an awkward schedule. So I feel like on top of all that, on top of the parity in the league and making MLS so unpredictable, the calendar just really doesn't help you at all to try and put a consistent product together. So I do worry that we're regressing to the mean, like we're just another MLS team now, like maybe just a stronger MLS team, which is kind of frustrating because we've spent all these money, we've brought in these great players, but we've got to have the consistency in terms of putting it all together on the field. And I just think it's going to take time, which is a really boring and annoying, frustrating answer that everybody gets irritated about when you keep recycling the same stuff. But
But to your point, I don't think Gonzalo Pineda's here as a launching off point for anything. I think he's here for the long term. I think he's getting us positive results. He doesn't seem to be causing a stir in the locker room like the last 2 managers did. So I think he's going to be here for a while, and that consistency, like you're saying, is key. And I think, who was it saying? Carlos Rangel. It keeps coming up, saying Pineda has expressed that he himself doesn't know what the best team is since he hasn't had a chance to train with the full squad. Give it time. Give it a little bit of time. We're seeing the spark that even Thiago Almada in a little bit of time provided this past weekend. And I even like Marcelino Moreno. I know that maybe he didn't have the best game, but there were definitely bright spots. He was I think that he is playing some of his better ball that we've seen from him as of late. I think that he's attacking well. He's taking the ball and he's just pushing forward and trying to create as much as he can. And we need that driving force. I feel like he's a guy that I want to see more out of, and I want to see just continue to be aggressive whenever he's out there.
Yeah, I love him. I really like his. I really like his dribbling ability and his pinpoint accuracy and playing the switch. Yeah. So, I've been a fan of his since he came in. I really like him. I think because of all the other pieces that Pineda hasn't been able to train with, it's difficult to see where he fits in. And then it's like, well, because a lot of criticism that's come from him is not really fast. But the thing is, if he was
Who
fast,
cares?
He would be Miguel Almiron. So,
right.
And of course, Miguel Almiron would be immense in this team. But it's a different type of player that we're dealing with. But we want, all the managers have been wanting to control possession, to be playmakers, to have an interesting team, to have intelligent football being played rather than being the Philadelphia Union. So.
And I feel like a lot of his play, because he's not super fast, I think a lot of his play is pretty intentional. And I think that he has a good touch on him. Like, I feel like he's good in possession. He doesn't give up the ball that easily. And he's usually working to get either somebody in space or just trying to get a shot on goal. It's like, I don't mind him dribbling as much as I used to mind Barco. And I think that Barco's dribbling a lot of times was aimless and very much laterally, where I feel like Marcelino's at least going vertical and trying to get to the box and trying to put a shot on goal or trying to create something for somebody.
Yeah. Even Matt Doyle hated on Barco doing exactly what you were saying.
Right. Yeah. Or trying to get into his I guess national teammate wife's DMs. That's
oh god, man.
Yeah. Again, who was it? Mauro Icardi's wife? Is that who it is?
Or is Icardi's wife? Yeah. But what the fuck are you doing, Barco? Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's gonna be his like downfall.
It's right. He's not John Terry to like Mauro Icardi's Wayne Bridge. Like, it's the opposite, right? Like, it's not like he's got some standing that is gonna get him a pass like John Terry did. So that was Wayne Bridge's wife, right? John Terry.
It was, yeah. I do not like John Terry. I don't think he's a nice person at all.
I don't know if anybody likes John Terry. We got to go back through a couple more of these reactions, Dan. We got Eddie Velarde saying, I feel like we are still in preseason mode with the team figuring out style of play, chemistry, and fitness for some players. Hope we come out of the break with some of those figured out. I could not agree more. Joe Johnstone, happiest of Joes, saying, not bad considering the injuries, suspensions, and visas we've dealt with thus far. I'm just hoping we have our actual starting 11 for some point of the season consistently, whoever they are. I could not agree more with that as well. When was the last, how many times in the past 3 years have we had all three designated players on the field at the same time? It's very rare.
I was hoping to look up a stat on that to figure it out, but I just haven't. But I think it is pretty rare that we see that, because I feel like every season it's been like, well, we don't even have all our 3 DPs on the field. So, God, it's so frustrating. But
yeah, it's super
such
frustrating.
is life in the MLS.
Yep. Mike Ricard saying some potential, but we should be doing better even with Araujo out. Seems like the team checks out mid-game and then makes heroic saves. I felt bad about feeling so good getting a draw against the last place Eastern team, but they outplayed us. I think Montreal is a team that will, I think as the season progresses, will show to be a better team than they have in the first few games.
Absolutely. No,
Yeah.
their record is not true for the team that they are.
No, and Georgi Mihaljevic is, as you mentioned, he's an immense talent. It's surprising to me he's still in MLS, to be honest. Andy Arnold saying we must get much better. Pedro Falas saying inconsistent. Stizzle, just Stizzle, saying defense needs to gel. It isn't there yet. Attack is decent. I really like Gutman. See, that's the thing. I think we talked about in the preseason. Aside from the fact that we don't have a ton of depth per se at center back, we felt pretty confident in our back line. And I felt like I just think that's changed, unfortunately. But I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Since when do you think it's changed from?
I guess maybe just the Montreal game, and it's just recency bias. But I don't feel super confident in our defense as of right now.
Well, yeah, I don't either. But I feel like it could be
3-0 against Colorado. I mean, it seemed. I don't know. I felt going into the preseason, it was a strong point to me. Our defense was going to be solid. And then you're saying you never felt confident in the defense then?
I felt confident in the defense before the Colorado game.
Right, after the Sporting KC. That's what I'm saying. Is like I felt like we gave up Charlotte's first goal. Granted, it was only third game of the season. But yeah, it just seems shaky, and I wasn't expecting that. Like given the talent that we have at center back, what Alan Franco showed last year, what Miles Robinson has shown the past three years, yeah, I just wasn't expecting that. Andrew Gutman, we knew is a starting level, one of the top left backs in the league, probably. And maybe the Araujo injury is hurting us a little more than we think, with Ronald Hernandez being the starting right back when Brooks Lennon has been nothing but solid whenever playing back there. I don't know. I guess it remains to be seen. But I mean, to Brittany S.'s point, we have 0 clean sheets so far this season. I think I pointed that out whenever I was doing a score prediction, or I kind of predicted that we're going to continue to have issues getting clean sheets throughout the season. But I don't trust Brad Guzan between the sticks.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, Brad Guzan will let a goal in, but he'll also make game-winning saves.
Right. I mean, he did that too. So that he did that against Lapalainen, right? Was it Lapalainen that had a breakaway that he ended up stopping at the end of the Montreal game, or maybe it was in the first half. It was Romel Kyoto. He came out and got big and got on the ground and was able to take it away from Kyoto. But yeah, I guess it's the facts of life, right? You take the good, you take the bad. Yeah, that's I don't know. It's just tough.
Well, it's going to be interesting because obviously when we come back from the international break, we've got DC United in DC. We go to Charlotte. That's going to be interesting since Charlotte got their first win over the New England Revolution.
Shambles, absolute shambles for Bruce Arena's team right now.
Was that in Charlotte or was it?
No, I don't think. No, it was because they only had 28,000 people at the game.
All right. So after Charlotte, we'll play Cincinnati at the Benz. Then we go to Inter Miami. So those upcoming 4 games, apart from Charlotte, because I feel like they're really going to be up for that game. Those should be, let's say, we should beat DC, we should beat FC Cincinnati, and we should beat Miami. So there's 9 points. That puts you in a different bracket. Then you go to Montreal, which is going to be difficult. We play Chicago and then New England Revolution and then Nashville. So
you think it's going to be easy going up against Golden Boot front runner Brandon Vasquez in Cincinnati?
I mean, FC Cincinnati got beat by Austin. So FC Cincinnati shouldn't be good, but we'll see. I know didn't they beat Orlando? And then they lost to pull up now. So they lost to Austin 5-0. They lost to DC 1-0. They beat Orlando 2-1. And then they beat Miami 3-1. And Miami are terrible.
Well, yeah, Miami's got to be the worst team in the league, right?
Yeah, so I don't think Cincinnati, Miami have, wow, they've got 3 losses and a draw. Yeah, that's terrible.
Vancouver is the Western version of Miami, it seems.
Again?
Yeah.
Oh, no, they did good last year, didn't they?
Oh, you're right. I think they made the playoffs maybe last year.
Right. So we've got a ton of games. I feel like I think we could get 9 to 7 points after the next 4 games. That's what I would expect. I don't think that's go out on a limb here. Yeah. I think 7 should be the minimum that we get from that. Like, we should beat DC, we should beat Charlotte, we should beat Cincinnati, and really, we should beat Miami.
Yeah, I could see us walking away with.
There's going to be something being thrown.
Yeah, I could see us walking away with 10 points out of that run, because I could see us dropping points away at DC or something like that. I feel like we never play well whenever we go to DC.
Yeah, FedEx Field, I think, has been the worst place that we've ever played in.
It's Audi, right? They're not playing in Audi Field anymore?
Well, no. Well, when Ben Olsen was in charge, the Raccoon Witch, and we just got freaking lit up well, it wasn't lit up. We would just get, sucker punched every time.
Yeah, 100%. Let me finish out these reactions. Tony Kurtner saying, going to squeak into the playoffs again. I think we might command a little better position than that. Alex Drummond saying, when we get everyone healthy and on the pitch, we're going to win a lot of 5-4 games. I think that would be exciting for everybody. I think that would be what everybody's wanted for a long time, right? It's like we'd rather win 5-4 than lose 4-5 than win 1-0. GTUTD saying, I feel great. Only 4 games into a 34-game regular season, and half of our starters have been out, including 2 of our 3 DPs. Yet we still got 7 points in 4 games. I agree with that sentiment. Danielle saying, the sample size is too small to have any statistical significance. Any doomsday sayers need to calm the fuck down. FFS. Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I don't know if anybody's really being doomsayers. I don't know if they've really seen that, but we won at DC last year. Shows what I know. I just feel like every time we go up there, we lose. And I know we've won a game or 2 in Columbus, but I feel the same about Columbus whenever we go up there. We have no match this weekend. We do have a match next weekend. That DC match. I think we're gonna have to podcast on Monday. I think we need to do a proper preview. Give you a little more time to prep the download for the DC match.
The DC, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, we have a brand new signing.
Oh, that's right. We signed Ronaldo.
Forgot about that. We signed Ronaldo, Cisneros. But we signed Ronaldo. It's why did we need that?
I don't know. So who have we got? Joseph. We've got
Dom Dwyer. We have Jackson Conway. We have Araujo can play striker if we need him to, if Joseph and Dom Dwyer are unavailable. Like,
it makes me worried that there's something that they see that's gonna delay Araujo longer, because so they're bringing in Cisnero on a loan, which is good. I like that. I want him to prove it to us. So I worry if there's something wrong with Araujo. I don't think Jackson Conway, he needs to prove it to me more in the twos. I don't think.
Okay, that's fair.
I think he needs to develop a whole lot more, and I don't think he's ready for MLS yet. So, and then who else we've got?
Tom Dwyer.
Tom Dwyer, who's on a red. But Dom Dwyer's old, and this Cisnero is 25. So I think it gives us a little bit better depth, and it also gives us depth across a number of positions. I don't know. He doesn't have that much playing experience. Like,
he's played 100 senior matches. He's played 99 senior regular season matches for Santos Laguna, Guadalajara, for Chivas, and then Zacatecas, Tapatio, and he scored all of 13 goals.
So as a center forward. Can you tell from those stats how many he started? Because I think he's been a sub. Because I think when you look at the number of games compared to the minutes seem pretty low.
Yeah.
So if you want to work on that little equation, that was my impression when I did a little bit of research on that. Elliot Bevan, maybe Ronaldo is the second striker and Dom is the third striker in depth. Yep. Mateo, I think Conway goes back to the twos, so they want more depth striker. I would agree with that. Brittany S says, I hope this is the year. Is that a fingers crossed or a peace sign? Who's fingers crossed? Carlos Rangel, Ronaldo was good when he started out at Santos, but there's a reason why he's been loaned out to second division. Signing doesn't really seem to make sense. Yeah. I think because Almada's going to go to international break, right?
You would think so, yeah.
U20 camp that he's probably going to go to. And then I also worry about, like, I think Wolf has been playing kind of what we expect his age to be, but I feel like it's not good enough as an attacking level player on Atlanta United.
Starting, so maybe no less, that's
bringing in more competition for Wolf. Mateo said he'll be better than Cubo. I fucking hope so, Mateo. Jeez.
I'm trying to figure out. Sorry, I'm trying to use FOTMob for this, and I am just not good at digging up these stats. They still don't seem great, Dan.
What, FOTMob?
No. Just his stats. His stats don't seem that great, even against.
No, they don't.
Against minutes played. I mean,
I would like to understand where that connection has come from. Like, who was the guy who found him, or woman who found him, and was like, okay, this is why we should go after this guy? Or is there some sort of less technical relationship between the clubs that we're doing? I would like to understand where the source came from this.
Yeah. So over his career. Over his career, he has averaged, let's see, goals per 90, 0.32 in 8 seasons, 0.37 for Chivas.
Yes, stats are overrated, Tim.
I know, but typically stats are overrated whenever they overrate a player, not when it's this. When there
aren't any stats.
They usually stand out the other way, not this way. I feel like, I don't know. That said, I'm going to cheer him on. I hope he does really well.
Oh,
But like,
absolutely.
I don't know, player loaned out, former Mexican national team youth player. Sound familiar? I don't know.
You're beaving this has to be a Pineda signing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that the other thing about it that's really weird that he's 25.
Yeah.
Like you would think they'd be going at, so he doesn't fit into a U22 spot. So surely they're looking at options to figure out what they want to do with that U22 spot. So maybe Cisneros is coming in and they think he could. Here's a theory, right? Maybe Cisneros comes in, he can take over Tyler Wolf's duties, and then they've got someone else on a U22 spot because then they would be at 30 when Cisneros comes in. So they'd have to drop Wolf down to the twos, and then they can bring in a U22 signing.
Yeah. Mateo asking how his shithousery and hold-up play is.
I think that's hosiery, isn't it?
He did spell it hosiery, but I'm pretty sure he means shithousery.
No idea. I think he's a pretty handsome guy, though. I feel like everyone's overlooking that.
Is he going to be smiley? Is he just going to smile all the time when he handballs in the box?
I think he reminds me of a Brandon Vasquez. Not as sexy as Brandon Vasquez, but...
and Brandon Vasquez has scored more goals in the last 4 games than Cisneros has scored in probably the last couple of years, right?
I mean, if you want to dwell on the stats, Tim.
So you tell me that you give Jackson Conway the same amount of minutes over that amount of a career, and he's going to have a worse goal scoring record than Cisneros?
How Jackson's 20 now?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd give Jackson 5 years. I'd bet he's better when he gets to 25 than Cisneros done.
Okay. So you give Jackson Conway the same amount of starts over a season. You think that that's what I need to look at. Jackson Conway stats. Where's that at? FB Football Ref. Let's see. Even at 20 years old, it looks like he's got a better goals per 90 than Cisneros does. For Atlanta United, he's got 0.38 in 8 matches, 2 starts, and he gets a goal, right?
He's scored that 1 goal.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but
Jackson, why don't you just?
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I'm not putting up. I don't have any stock in Cisneros or Jackson Conway, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, you're just a shill for former Liga MX players. So
that's right. Jurgen Damm forever. We're going to create a team with Jurgen Damm on it, Chris McCann, Manuel Castro, and Kubo Torres.
Don't forget Kenwin Jones.
Kenwin Jones, yeah, all forwards.
Is it telling that Jurgen Damm still hasn't found a team?
He doesn't need a team. He's got 1.5 million to burn through.
Yeah. Huh. And he's probably making all that good TikTok money. Do people make money just posting on TikTok? I've never been on there because I don't want that Chinese spyware on my phone. Do. But yeah,
I'm sure they do.
So
Carlos Rangel, I like Conway, but his style doesn't fit this team. Yeah, like a big number 9 just doesn't seem to. Well, let me walk that back. Because the most successful striker we've ever had, or really, have we had a better striker than Joseph Martinez on this team? No, or someone who scored more than a few goals?
Tito would be. Tito's the only one that comes to mind.
Because he's fast. And small and
but
aggressive.
even whenever we deputized him at center forward, whenever Joseph was injured in the first year or two, he would still smash home a few goals.
Yeah. No, but I mean, that's interesting. I mean, were you looking for have we really had a big number 9 like a Conway or a John or a Kenwyn Jones, who has been actually in their prime and been a good player. Because I don't think any of those have been decent. I don't think any of those players I just listed were really put into a successful situation.
Brandon Vasquez has probably scored the most. He only scored 3 of those goals. So,
yeah. So maybe we do need to look more about those fast guys, those Joseph Martinez, Kun Agueros.
Yeah. Well, he had to retire.
Carlos Tevez.
He had to retire, unfortunately, which it just sucks, right? He finally got to go play with. First of all, I felt so bad for him, right? He transfers to Barcelona. He signs with Barcelona to go play with his best friend and Lionel Messi, and then Messi up and leaves, and then he has to retire due to a heart condition. It's just horrible.
Yeah, but he has made a fuck ton of money.
Yeah, that's true. He won a handful of Premier League championships with City. He scored the game-winning goal on decision day, whatever that their first. I think that was their first championship in that run of them.
And he played in a World Cup final, didn't he? Against Germany, they lost, but
yeah, I think you're right. All right, Dan. I don't want to keep you too long. I don't want to keep the people too long. We're right at an hour. I don't do the sign off normally. You have anything else, Dan? Anything?
No, I don't. Well, we're going to pod next week, so I'll save any DC garbage for that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
But I feel like, from an emotional perspective, I feel like it was a win, just because of the way we came back. But from a mental perspective, it's probably not great.
Yeah. Mateo asking real quick for predictions of World Cup qualifying window. I don't see us winning in Mexico. I see us beating Panama, and I could see us like drawing or beating Costa Rica. Brendan Aronson getting injured is a huge blow. I feel like the Serginho Dest. We didn't even talk about that. George Bello got a call up due to Serginho Dest's injury too.
Oh, nice. For Bello.
For Bello. Maybe not for the U.S. men's team in Dest right now, because I think he's a better senior player right now.
Elliot Bevan, England wins. Yes.
I think we qualify in this window. Right? I think we beat Panama, and I think we beat Costa Rica. I don't think that we beat Mexico, though. But that puts us, another at least 7 points clear of Panama in 4th place in the Intercontinental playoff. So, yeah, I feel good about it. I don't know. I guess we shall see. I mean, we're without Weston McKennie, too. He broke his leg on club duty with Juventus.
Is Yusuf Musa playing?
Yeah, yes, yeah. Yunus Musa?
Interesting. Excuse me.
Yunus.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Yunus. Excuse me. Well, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of USMNT Twitter to talk about.
Oh, yeah. And the whole whatever. I'm not even going to talk about that supporters group stuff. Anyway, Dan, where can the good folks find you whenever you're not plying your trade on the podcast?
You can find me on Twitter at DNJMS, or I guess I've been talking about Peloton. You can come ride your bike with me and Will Bowron at the Power of Dan, though I'm not sure what Will's. I think it's something like to do with Lego the Third. I don't know. I think he's signed off anyway.
Find me on Instagram at Tim Herb. Find us collectively on Twitter at Home Before Dark. That's spelled B and the number 4. Thank you guys as always for tuning in on YouTube, watching us live in the trap, making our jobs a lot easier and giving us shit to talk about, because sometimes it's just better that way. And it's always fun to interact with people. We love you guys. We love seeing you guys in the trap and on the interwebs as a whole. Again, if you guys are not subscribed, subscribe to us on YouTube, subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, leave us a rating and a review, help us get found, and just spread the good word. We love the hell out of you guys. We will be back on Monday night, conceivably with Kevin, Dan, and myself. Until then, be safe, have fun, and as always, be home before dark.
Sweet.